military eyes, surprising the Philippine Air Force with the world's most advanced dozens of fighter jets. The Philippines and Sweden have reached an agreement to acquire new fighter jets as part of the Philippine Air Force's multi-role fighter acquisition project. The Secretary of the Ministry of National Defense, Carlito Galvez Jr., and his Swedish defense counterpart signed a memorandum of understanding en route to Singapore. This comes after Chief Lieutenant General Stephen Perenio visited Sweden in late May to tour Saab facilities. This agreement opens up opportunities for the Swedish defense industry to participate in the armed forces of the Philippines modernization program, as well as the possibility of joint initiatives to support the Philippines' push to achieve a defensive. The Department of National Defense said in a statement that the U.S. and Philippine Air Forces were again addressing Exercise Thunder after more than 30 years. In March, the Philippines and Sweden finalized a deal for the acquisition of defense materials, DND spokesman Arsenio Andalong said as officials discussed updates on the Philippines' defense modernization efforts, especially Philippine Air Force. The Philippines, which is being forced to increase its surveillance and interdiction capabilities, is seeking fourth-generation or higher aircraft to enhance external defense. Some of the competing aircraft in this acquisition are the Gripen Saab JAS-39 and Lockheed Martin F-16 Volts Viper fighter. The MRF, multi-role fighter, project falls under Horizon 2 of the Armed Forces of the Philippines, AFP, modernization program. The new fighter jets should be supported by the Philippine Air Force's current 12th Fleet, with Mach 1.5 capabilities. There is still work to be done to update the radar for future acquisition of 12 Philippine Air Force brands. The new FA-50 is only produced by South Korea and 5 of them are in service. Commander Major General Arthur Cordura of the Philippine Air Force stated that at least 10 FA-50s will be operational within this year. He added that the pandemic had delayed the delivery of parts. 5 operational fighter jets were used the previous week to escort President Ferdinand Marcos Jr.'s plane, while on a trip to the United Nations in New York City. This news comes as the end of a long story on the defense issue of the Philippines. Meeting between U.S. Secretary Anthony Blinken and Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin and their counterparts, Secretary of the Philippines Overseas Manalo and Secretary of National Defense Galvez. The two countries announced that they would resume freedom of navigation operations in the South China Sea, where China has violated the Philippines' exclusive economic zone and territorial claims. The United Nations International Court of Justice has ruled that China's legal claims in the South China Sea are invalid. Like-minded partners are expected to join the patrol later this year.